Hey guys, Christina here, and today I have a look for you and a review of The Good and the Beautiful's Level 5 Language Arts course. I've had one child complete this course and a second one who's about a quarter of the way through. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and let you see all the different components of it, and then I'll come back here and share our thoughts on it. There's a few different components to the Level 5, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the course book here. So it covers literature, grammar and usage, punctuation, art, geography, vocabulary, and writing, all in one course, which is always good. Starts off with at a glance here. It tells you what you're going to be covering about this course, things you need, the daily checklist, how the course works, some instructions, some more instructions about different things like how to do spelling, length of the coursework, kind of an idea of what it should take. Of course, every child's a little different. And then it jumps right into the lessons. I'll skip ahead a few lessons so you can kind of see what a lesson looks like. Here's lesson 48. So you can see there's a few different assignments they need to do, and grammar, and then they're reading. And that's the end of that lesson after they do this little digging deeper. Here's another lesson here. Every lesson is slightly different because it does cover so many topics. It kind of goes back and forth with different things. Now this one has the majority of the readings in the actual course book, which is a little different from some of the other levels. I'll give you a quick flip through. You can see the artwork is in color. This is a book that I got directly from the company, so it's a little bit thicker paper bound on the side, and you'll see some of these watercolor things. This is what level 5 is for art, is watercolors, and so the kids learn how to use watercolors. And there's a few different assignments that they do, learning how to use those watercolors. So then there's this daily checklist. It's just a pad of all the same, and they fill in the day, and they can check off what they need to do. This is a shared reader. So this reader is meant to be done with a parent. You alternate reading paragraphs through these stories here. I really enjoyed this. There's a few pictures. I enjoyed connecting with my son while reading it, but also just the stories themselves. Lots of language and grammar that is more challenging than a lot of books these days, and some good stories and some good historical information too. Then there's the personal reader here, which they read on their own. It's a mixture of stories, poems, short stories. That's what that looks like. And these are both from the company as well. Then there is the course companion. So some of the lower levels have the answer key and such right inside the book. I'm not a big fan of that. I like having them separate. This explains what is in the course companion. So one of the very first things they have are these states and capitals ladders. Now we're not American, so The Good and the Beautiful actually put a supplement out about Canada, and so I just went ahead and printed it and laminated it so my kids could use that. Poetry memorization is one I did not have my first child who went through level 5 use because he was going through it quite quickly. Hopefully my future children and the one who's doing right now is working on that. Quick reference, there's maps and stuff in there. There's grammar and punctuation and usage. There is editing. I think editing's after. There's some stories that they have to read in here. There's the editing section. And editing is by number, which is really nice because sometimes in the course book it will say there are 3 numbers 2s and 5 number 7s. Or it won't say, but then when you get to the answer key, which I'll show you in a minute here, at the back, it will tell you which number. So if the child is having trouble recognizing it, you can just look up that number and it tells you the rule, which I really, really love this. And I love that they have that included. So again, the answer key is right at the back here. And just in between there and what I was just showing you is dictation. So the kids have quite a few pages of dictation, and I really love that they're working on spelling as well as punctuation in this book. I found that my oldest child going through this, it greatly improved his punctuation and spelling and his listening skills because it's dictation. So you are speaking and the child is remembering, recalling, and writing. That's what that book looks like. And then they continue to use these cards that they began using in level 4. If you want to go back and watch my level 4 video, I share this more in depth. But there's grammar cards they need to memorize, and then there is some world, but primarily US states. But there is a little bit of like world oceans and some European countries that they're reading about. And again, you can go back and see my other video for more details, but we did supplement a bit with Canadian cards. We only have 13 provinces and territories. It doesn't take them long to get through all of those cards. So I did want to just show you real quick the difference here. This is, again, a book that I got from the company. This is one that I printed myself. Sometimes it's nice just to see the comparison, because level 5 is one that is free to download. So you can see what that looks like. I bound it at the top. Now for my first child, I just printed the pages, only the ones that they had to write on and in black and white, and he referenced this book. It was a whole lot of back and forth, and there was a couple pages missing. It just didn't work. So that's why I printed this for my son, the entire book this time, whether he's using the page or not. And I've actually just put this book away. My third son will be using this next year, and so I've just decided to keep this for him, because then I have about a 3-year gap between my 4th child using it, and there may be updates by that point. So just to show a little bit of difference in different ways that you can bind it and that you can use it this way. So I really like level 5. I think it's probably my favorite level out of all of them, although level 6 is proving to be pretty fantastic too. I felt like level 4 was kind of a slowdown, a little too simple, not quite a fan of the format. But level 5 just like picks right back up where level 3 left off in terms of really learning the punctuation, the sentence structure, the spelling, having really good, strong readings. I just really enjoyed it. Now, as I mentioned before, I really like the format of having this book separate. I like that I can keep this one and do work with my child. They can reference it when they need it, when they're told to in the book. But then all that my son needs to keep is this book here with his work. It's really simple. Of course, there's the readers and the cards, but it's not a lot of stuff that the children have to kind of keep tidy. We just use small bins, so it all fits in there. I really like the stories that we read. Again, the shared reader here. And there's some historical stuff in here I learned that I didn't even know before, and I kind of surprised I didn't know that. So I just really, really enjoy the stories. I love connecting with my child, doing that reading side by side every day. Really enjoyed it. So I went through this with my first child. My second one, who's doing the course right now, is reading this with my husband, so he can have the opportunity to hear the stories. And then I will go back and do it with my next son next year as well. Another thing I loved is the art portion of it. Of course, the art appreciation is just a great thing to add into language arts, to describe artwork, to learn about the history of the artist and the time. I think it's just fantastic the program does that. Also, the watercolors they learn to use, it's pretty amazing what the kids can create. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the art my kids have done here. Now, as I mentioned before, this is one of the levels that's free to download, which is fantastic when it comes to affording homeschool. I did purchase the set originally from them because I wanted the books and the cards and the reference section reference book companion one time so that I could keep it for all my children. But then being able to print for subsequent children, it really makes it affordable. So the curriculum is a Christian, non-denominational curriculum, so it does talk about God and about Christ, and a lot of just really good morals, strength of character, things like that, which works really well for our family. Again, if you're not sure, one thing you can do is to download the free download and then do a keyword search, and that way you can search certain things that you're looking for if you're seeing if it will fit your family or not. But overall, I really can't think of anything that was a negative to this course. My kids liked it, I liked it, really liked it. And so yeah, we're continuing with it. Like I've said, second child using it, third will be using it soon. We just really enjoyed it. If you have any questions, if there's anything that I've missed or something you have a question about, leave it in the comment section down below and I will be happy to answer it for you. I hope this finds you having a great day. Take care.